Hey, beautiful souls, Melanie Beckler here, and in this video, I'm excited to share with you 5 key things to support you in empowering the highest possibilities for your life in the new year. So these are going to be supportive things whether you want to accelerate in the trajectory you're on and the direction you're headed, or if you want to change course and shift your trajectory and step away from the things that are no longer serving you in your life and get in that trajectory of your highest soul purpose and mission and begin moving in the direction of what will be truly fulfilling, rewarding, and inspiring for you in your life even more. So this brings us right to the first thing, which is because this is a year where the energetics are supporting spiritual growth and connection with spirit, it's so important to have a daily spiritual practice. And this can be different depending on what your goals and intentions are. If your goal is awakening a higher level of consciousness, meditation is invaluable. And really, I feel that meditation benefits everyone who is alive on the planet because it's about taking control of the inner world of our thoughts, emotions, and inner sensations in order to impact the outer world from within. And so this year, a spiritual practice is going to be very important for developing intuition so you can receive the guidance from your soul and your higher self, nudging you and steering you to move in the right direction. It's also so powerful for counterbalancing the stresses and busyness and chaotic nature of the external world around. By cultivating inner peace and tranquility, we can deal with the challenges and hardships of life much more gracefully and effortlessly. So if you don't already know, I do have a membership program, theangelsolution.com, where I share regular angel meditations, activations, and channelings. And I'm going to be bringing a lot of new, exciting stuff. So I would invite you to check that out at theangelsolution.com if you've not already. And of course, this is not the only way to do a spiritual practice. So if you already have a daily spiritual practice, it's going to be a big opportunity for deepening into the stillness, into the inner world, opening to embrace the higher spiritual realities and allowing the higher divine love and light and wisdom to embody and anchor through you, which just has so many benefits, from being able to manage uncertainty, receiving clear guidance, and really knowing the path ahead so that you can confidently, one step at a time, embark upon it and move in the trajectory, in the direction, in the highest divine timeline for your embodied soul presence and embodied authentic truth. Okay, the second key thing, off camera now due to a little technical difficulty, is to cultivate the power of observation. This is really so powerful. So often in life, we get caught up in being all wrapped up in whatever's going on, taking it personally, identifying with the challenges that we're having, when there's always this opportunity to step back in perspective, to step back into the perspective of the observer. And when you do this, you actually gain access to a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of awareness that's closer to your soul and your higher self, who are always with you, always guiding you in every moment. And when you tune in to the power of observation, not only are you able to be less reactive and less triggered by whatever's happening around you. And of course, this year there are going to be ups and downs and challenges like every year, though they'll have their own unique flavor. When you step into the observer, you're able to calmly, through presence, gather the information that you need so you know how to respond. You're also able to observe, wow, I'm really triggered by this. An old pattern is triggered, or a judgment is triggered. And that awareness and observation is the first key to then be able to let the old pattern go, to claim a new response that's empowered, that's in alignment with love, that's in alignment with how you truly want to show up in the world and in your life. And one more piece of this power of observation is to learn through practice to be able to distinguish your emotional responses and reactions from the thought patterns and stories that are associated with them. So something really powerful that I learned recently is that scientifically, we're now able to measure that the life cycle of an emotion is 90 seconds, which really isn't very long at all. So if you're feeling emotionally triggered, stopping, allowing, welcoming the emotion, being with it, having awareness allows it to move through, to pass through a storm moving by where you are the blue sky. But when we correspond that emotion with thought forms, when we tell ourselves stories about what it means, then those thoughts and stories can further amplify the emotion to increase its intensity and draw out its effect. This is how people can spiral downward in emotions, getting into a mood, getting into a temperament because of the thought patterns and stories that are going on. By observing, you can recognize, wow, I have a lot of thought about this emotion, and then consciously allow the thoughts to pass by. Allow yourself to be present with the emotion, to welcome compassion, forgiveness, and love into your heart, to transmute lower energies, let go, and reset in the moment back into alignment with love. Okay, the third thing to make the most of this powerful new year is to practice boundaries and discernment. And what I mean by this is to practice knowing what is yours and what is not, what to engage with and what to step back from, when to say something and what to say, and when to say nothing at all. And a part of this is knowing when it's time for you to nourish yourself, to cultivate self-love and care, to take care of you, to say no to those demands on your time and energy because you know you need to replenish yourself first. And then having the awareness and discernment to recognize, I am ready to step out into the world, to be of service to others, to show up for family and friends and work situations. And another part of this, knowing what's yours and what isn't, that's so important is because the earth right now and the collective consciousness of humanity are purging so much old energy that's been held in, been buried down, but now is having this major spotlight shined upon it because these are the times we're living through where increased light is flooding onto the planet, revealing what's been buried and hidden in the shadow so that we can become aware of it, face it, and through that awareness and acceptance, then have the opportunity to heal, to transmute old energies and let it go. And I share this with you because sometimes if you're feeling emotional or feeling challenged, it may not even be your emotion that you're feeling. So ask yourself, is this even mine? And if not, Call in the violet flame, call in the angels and the light to transmute the energy, let it move through you and return to love. And of course, if it is yours, then getting into awareness. Is there something that you need to do about it? If so, take that action. If not, allow it to pass through. So this year is a very fertile time for growth. And yes, specifically in terms of spiritual development, of personal growth, evolution, but really in all areas of life. And so when it comes to fertility, it's important to be aware of what fertile ground are you tending. You don't prepare the soil in the same way to grow potatoes as you do to grow a fruit tree. So what is that intention for what you want to create, cultivate, and call forth in your life? Getting clear about this with intention can help you to then align your actions in a way to create the fertile soil for you to grow and blossom into who you are becoming, into what you know deep down at the soul level is possible for you in your life. But there may be a big gap between where you are now and what you know is possible. So there are many ways to create fertile soil for growth. We've already talked about some of them: spiritual practice, being the observer, which is basic mindfulness, having boundaries. But then also there are practical things in your life, like diet and exercise, cultivating relationships with others. This is about going within and getting clear about what is your intention, and then how can you support yourself in creating the right atmosphere, in loading up the soil with the right nutrients in order for you to grow into who you want to become. And this perfectly leads us in to the fifth key thing to help empower the highest possibilities for your life in the new year. And that is to embrace not knowing by diving into presence. If you're like me, you probably like to know how things are going to unfold in your life, but sometimes there just isn't a way to know. You can consult all the psychics and oracle cards and tap in with your intuition, and still some things are mysterious. And this is because a part of our human experience is discovering moment by moment. And so embracing not knowing by leaning into presence in the moment, cultivating that trust of the divine, of your higher self, of spirit, and doing what you can to stay centered, open, activating your intuition and inner guidance so that when you do receive guidance as to a step to take, you take it in a sort of moment by moment creation process. An analogy for this that just popped into my head, which you've probably heard before, is the GPS analogy, or shall we say the Google Maps on your phone analogy. So you type in your ultimate destination and hit go. And if you've never been there before, you trust that Google is going to get you there, that you're going to be able to get there with the map. You don't need to know every step along the route. You know that in the moment by moment, when an important turn is required, you're going to get that download. You're going to get that guidance so that you know to take the turn. So embrace this sort of knowing in your own life. When you focus on that North Star, the core intention, you ask for help from spirit, you nurture the soil, you support yourself in coming into resonance with that. Don't worry if you don't yet see every step as to how you'll get there. One step at a time, the path continues to appear. And the more you're able to trust, to cultivate love and presence, and this is where a spiritual practice becomes so valuable, to cultivate that trust and connection with the divine within you. This is where being the observer is so powerful, to recognize, wow, I'm having a lot of doubt creeping up about this journey ahead of me. You know what? I'm going to grab this doubt accept it, acknowledge it's there, and return it to source, replacing doubt with trust, with love, with presence, with knowing that one step at a time, the highest divine possibilities for my life will be created with and through me as I continue returning to love and just allow. Okay, my dear loves, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. Even though we lost the footage of the video, I thank you. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you would like to be step by step with me throughout this year, be sure to check out theangelsolution.com for my membership program, and also be sure to subscribe here on YouTube for more videos to come. I love, honor, and appreciate you. Bye for now.